So did you know that there are over 4.5 million dog bites in this country every year? And I've just seen a statistic that says over 80% of victims of dog bites who have to go to the hospital, over 80% of the victims are children under the age of 15. So there is a pretty serious problem and frequency to this problem of dog bites. So what can you do if you've been injured by a dog? Can you sue? Well, let's talk about the law of Tennessee. So Tennessee has what's called the one bite rule. Basically, if you don't know that your dog is dangerous, then the first time it bites someone, you're going to be off the hook. You're not responsible. Now, there's an exception for that, which is if your dog is just what's called running at large or not on a leash, you're out in public, your dog is not on a leash, it bites someone, then the fact that it's never bitten anyone before doesn't really matter because you're supposed to have your dog on a leash. But let's say you have someone over to your house and your dog is not on a leash and it bites someone, you're not liable unless you know that the dog is dangerous, what we call dangerous propensity. So that usually requires showing some sort of evidence that the dog has bitten someone in the past. I'll tell you a story in just a second on a case that I had where I was able to show this. But usually that means some sort of testimony that, either you've been to the house before and seen this dog bite someone, or the owner told you this, or there's something like that. But even better is records from animal control, which I've had in a case before where I had a postal employee who was bit by a dog while she was delivering mail, and we come to find out that the animal control had been out to that address before because of this very dog. So you've got a public record of the animal control that shows that the dog was dangerous. Another example was, this was neighbors of my client. They knew that the dog was dangerous because they knew it had bit someone before, and we were able to get the medical records of that person showing that they had gone and been treated for a dog bite at this address, and that predated our case. So we could show a history through those records of a dangerous propensity or violent tendency of the dog. So you can kind of think about two different situations. Did the dog bite happen at the home or the property of the owner? In which case you're going to have to show that the dog had bitten someone before and was dangerous. Or did the bite occur out in public somewhere? In which case the dog has to be on a leash. So that's sort of the broad overview of the law. Let's talk about recovering in a dog bite case. What damages are available? Well, it's just like any other personal injury case. You can get medical records, pain and suffering. You can get loss of enjoyment of life if you have to miss work, permanent disfigurement, which I've seen in some dog bite cases. So it's that normal panoply of damages. What's interesting in a dog bite case is that most of the time we're dealing with a homeowner insurance carrier because the homeowner's insurance will cover the dog bite, assuming that the dog bite occurs on the property of the dog owner, which is frequently the case that we see. If it's a postal employee, for example, or it's a house guest, or someone's children go over to play with someone else's children and the family dog bites a child, homeowners insurance will step in and cover that, and almost most of the time. And so realistically, the limits of your recovery are likely to be simply the availability of homeowners insurance. Renters insurance will also cover dog bites. And so, if you are bit in an apartment, if someone's got renters insurance, there should be coverage. In our experience, I think 75,000 is sort of the minimum. 75 to 100 is usually what those packages are offered at. So, in an apartment situation, that's probably what someone has in terms of coverage. You might get lucky, which I've seen that happen. You can't bank on it, but sometimes someone just happens to have a higher insurance renter's policy that steps in and covers, and you can get lucky in that way. But that is sort of just the luck of the draw in terms of how much insurance coverage the dog owner happens to have. So that's a broad overview of Tennessee dog bite laws. If you're interested in learning more about Tennessee personal injury law generally, watch this next video. Thanks for watching.